Thank you, Chairman McCall and Ranking Member Meeks, for holding this hearing today, and thank you, witnesses, for being here. I want to first follow up on what Chairman McCall said about the Army Tactical Missile System. In June of this year, Chairman McCall and Congress members Kane and Keating and Golden and Wilson and I introduced a resolution calling for ATACMS to be immediately transferred to Ukraine. I'm pleased that the administration has done so, and as Ms. Heinrichs noted, ATACMS were used to destroy 9 Russian helicopters, which, if correct, would be the worst one-day loss for the Russian Air Force in Russian history. Questions now about the Repo Act. I am a co-author. I agree with the sentiments of the witnesses today. So my first question is, do you believe the administration, even without this bill, has authority right now to transfer the frozen Russian assets to Ukraine?
Yes, it does. It has it under the existing IEPA authorities that the president has already invoked. And the Renewed Democracy Initiative has put out a really extensive legal brief that goes into great detail about this. And I think actually the administration's lawyers are coming around to the view that yes, they do have the authority under existing law. What the Repo Act does is, one, it reaffirms that, but two, it makes Congress a partner in this with regulation and oversight that's an appropriate congressional role. So by both reaffirming the authority and getting Congress to join the executive in doing this together, I think it makes it a truly national effort with an appropriate congressional part.
How would you respond to critics who say this would make it harder for other folks in the future to want to invest in the United States?
I think, by the way, you can look at the numbers. After we froze Russian assets, everybody understood the political risks that might be involved with putting their money into dollar holdings. The Chinese called in all their bankers and asked them, do we have any other options? That happened last year. And you can just simply track what's happened in the international financial markets and see how folks have now priced in that political risk. But the result is still a very strong demand and interest in the dollar. But here again, to come back to Congressman Meek's point, by working with the euro and the yen and sterling, we give them no place to go. If they want to participate in the world economy, then they're just going to have to invest in assets like that.
Go ahead.
Congressman, I will say, agree with what was just said, but the other thing that's very interesting and good in the repo bill that is different is this provision, Section 103, that would prohibit the release of blocked Russian sovereign assets. I think that's an incredibly important element of this bill, so that it removes the temptation possibly for any kind of sweetener for the Russians to have access to these funds and leave Ukraine in a lurch whenever they have to rebuild their society. So that's a very important part of the bill.
Thank you. I yield back.